Welcome back. Imagine you have multiple threads running at the same time, like one thread printing numbers and another printing alphabets. They both fight for CPU time, right? Now, just like a real life, threads don't live forever. They are born, run around, sometimes pause, and finally die. This journey is called the thread life cycle. Now, thread life cycle has 5 major states. Let's see them. Now, Java defines 5 major states of a thread, that is new, runnable, running, waiting and terminated. New is like thread created but not started. Runnable is like thread is ready to run waiting for the CPU. Running is like thread is executing code inside the run method. And waiting is like thread is paused either indefinitely or for a given time. Then the last step is terminated. Thread finished its execution. Now you can think as an analogy. Think of a passenger at a railway station, okay? New is like ticket bought. Runnable is like standing on the platform. Running is like train is moving. Waiting is like train stopped at the station. And terminated is like journey finished. Now let's see the code for it. I'm directly pasting the code to avoid extra time. So let's write. Now you can see class myThread extends thread. Here we define myThread by extending Java's thread class. That makes myThread a type whose behavior we can control in run. Then we have public void run. Run method is the method the new thread executes when it starts. This is the thread's job. Then we have our print statement that is printing thread is running. This is a good marker to see when starts running. Then we have our try block. Here we wrap thread.sleep in try and catch block because it can be interrupted. Then inside that we have thread.sleep 1000. This is the pause the current thread for 1 second. During that pause, the thread is in time waiting state. Then again we have our print statement and that prints the thread that thread woke up. Now after sleeping, the thread wakes and prints this another visual checkpoint. Then we have our catch block. If another thread interrupts this sleeping thread, we can catch the exception and we can print the stack if an interrupt happened. It's specially useful for debugging. Then we have our end of thread class. Moving further, let's write in the main thread myThread t is equal to new myThread. What does this mean? Here we create a myThread object. Now creating the object doesn't start the thread. It is still just an object. Then we have our print statement. State after creation t.getState. What does this mean? Here we print the thread state right after the creation. It should show new because the start hasn't been called yet. So this is the new state. Then we have t.start. This tells the JVM to start the thread. And next line we have our print statement that says state after start plus t.getState. Now what does this mean? This is the runnable state. Immediately after the start, we print the state. You will see runnable, meaning the thread is ready to run or running, but exact timing is decided by the scheduler. So this is the runnable state. Then we have our try and catch block. We use try and catch because thread.sleep and join. This join can throw interrupted exception. Then we have written thread.sleep 500. The main thread sleeps for 0.5 seconds. This gives the child thread time to execute and enter at sleep. And then we have our print statement, state while sleeping plus t.getState. Now this is the time waiting state. So let's write time waiting state. Here you will see time is waiting. If not, it may still be runnable. That's normal. Thread states can vary. Then we have t.join. Now this join makes the main thread wait until t finishes. It is a way to block the main thread until the child thread terminates. Then we have our catch block. Inside that it's written interrupted exception and e.print stack trace. If the main thread is interrupted while sleeping or waiting, we will print the stack trace. Then we have our print statement again, that's printing state after completion plus t.getState. Now this is the terminated state. After join returns, the child thread has finished and getState will show the terminated. So this is the terminated state. And now let's save our file and run our code and see what's happening. And you can see state after creation is the new state. Here you can see then state after start is runnable. State after start is runnable. That is printing thread is running. Then we have state while sleeping, that is time waiting. So you can see here state while sleeping is time waiting, and that's printing thread woke up. Then we have our last print statement, that is saying state after completion, that is the terminated state. And you can see here in the console state after completion is the terminated state. This is the thread life cycle. Now let's move forward with the next topic.